On today's episode of the Carolina Sports Guy, we're going to get into three things that I loved in this win over the New Orleans Saints in Week 2. Before we get into today's content, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Hit that bell notification to be notified of future content like this video on the Panthers. Pound that like button. And folks, leave comments. I love the dialogue. All right, folks, I want to look at three things that the Carolina Panthers did that I loved in this Week 2 matchup against the Saints. Number one, the offensive line. Yes, I'm going to give them some praise. Now, not so much on the run blocking. That left side really leaves a lot to be desired and up the middle in the trenches. But when it comes to passing, our passing offense, Sam Darnold was given that extra little bit of time. Now, in the second half, the Saints kind of adjusted. They put more pressure on Darnold. He went down a couple of times. But I'm telling you, folks, if Darnold is given this much time every week to pass the ball, he's gaining confidence. He's got the weapons to get open. And he can hit the ball on the money on most of his throws. And it looks really good. He's gaining more and more confidence. So, got to give the O-line credit, because when it comes to pass blocking, they're doing just enough to keep Darnold clean. Darnold's getting that adequate enough time. And when Zylstra gets involved in the game, you still got Marshall performing, Anderson and DJ Moore. And, you know, guys, it's incredible. It's working. So as long as the offensive line can hold up on pass blocking, that is not going to be an issue. And we haven't even really had to go deep yet and test Darnold's arm yet, and that's something we really need to see. Number two thing that I loved, the emergence of Dan Arnold and even Ian Thomas at tight end. Now, I know Ian Thomas's first game, he probably had a little bit more in his stat line, but he still made a contribution and played well. But Dan Arnold showed up and came to play. He was highly utilized by Sam Darnold. That Darnold to Arnold connection was on, folks. And the more we utilize our tight ends as a safety valve, it takes it a little off of CMC. It helps it out where it ain't always got to be down the field to the receivers, but it just makes for, you know, a nice mid-level game, whether it be 5, 6, 7 yards. It really helps these tight ends, and Dan Arnold really looked good this week. And I think, you know, we're going to start to see him get in the end zone soon. All right. The third thing I loved in the win this week, once again, folks, props has got to go to the defensive line. The pressure's not only on passing downs. They're creating pressure along with on run downs. They're keeping teams bottled up where they're not getting big runs. You know, a couple of runs here and there, but nothing really big. We shut Alvin Kamara down in this game. He didn't have, but what, like 8-10 yards rushing. Our defensive line, the pressure they're putting on a quarterback, Winston did not look comfortable. They did not let him, even though he did get off a couple plays, moved around a bit, avoided some sacks, did hit a couple first downs on plays where he had to scramble out because of the pressure. But the pressure is there. And when it's all game long, folks, you got to give the defensive line credit. And that, to me, is the thing I love. That defensive line, got to love it more than anything else, because that's where it starts, folks. And when you look at your lowest point total in the Sean Payton era, where, you know, it's like 28 yards of offense is what they had total, and that's 50 yards less than any other time in his career, that says a lot about what your defense is doing, folks. So what do you folks think? What did you love about this win over the Saints more than anything else? Like I said, that O-line giving Darnold the protection was a surprise. The emergence of the tight ends in this game, and that pressure by the defensive line, folks. Leave me some comments. Pound that like button. Hit that bell notification and be notified of future videos like these. And by all means, folks, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. I will see you on another episode of Carolina Sports Guy.